Hey guys, today on Rich with Cars, I bring you 2019 Lexus LS500. I'm not going to do a brand new review of this car since it's already 3 years old because there's plenty of reviews out there. I wanted to give you guys sort of idea while actually going over the car and briefly whether or not this car is actually worth buying as a used vehicle compared to all the other competitors like the 7 Series, the A8 and others such like that. So guys, strap in, let's take a look. So the Lexus LS has already gone through several generations. Let's keep in mind that the LS has been Lexus's first ever car when they first came out, I believe in 1989. So this is basically Lexus's flagship, if you want to call it. And they're gonna stick with it because at the end of the day, this is the car model that actually got Lexus started from day number one. So in this particular iteration, which is the latest generation, they actually came out with this particular redesign as a 2018 model, and they came out with it in 2017. Of course, now they've made a few upgrades and updates, especially they did a facelift now, for example, where they've actually updated the headlight design where it's sort of like all in one housing and it's sort of different. It doesn't have these eyelashes for the daytime running lights. I personally prefer the eyelashes, but you know, of course, everybody's different. But let's just take a look at this car from the exterior as a, you know, overall look, and see if it would be well worth your while and consideration as a used car. Because as a 2019, you have other options as well. But I personally think that the Lexus, being such a reliable brand, is definitely very, very good option for you guys to consider. So let's get started with the exterior overview. This has a Lexus spindle grille, and it definitely, you know, I think it's, in my opinion, it's been integrated into this particular model very, very well. But I really like the design of it. It's very bold compared to some of its other competitors like the 7 Series, the A8. Now Genesis has a G90 as well that compares to this. But I personally prefer the Lexus exterior design over all of its competition. Especially, like I said before, these headlights over here with the triple beams, the eyelash daytime running lights. This over here is not open right now, it's closed, but on like an F Sport model, for example, this would be open as air curtains. And then of course you have the waterfall type of design and the grille, which I love quite a bit. This is your radar detection as well, which is integrated into the emblem. So very, very nice design. This particular color is a caviar. These are sort of the standard wheels that come with the vehicle. This is not a fully loaded LS500, so at the end of the day, a lot of the things I'm going to show you with this particular model will be as standard compared to other models like the F Sport or, you know, luxury specs, for example. So this is a 19-inch wheel. Of course, you get so many different options, like for example on the F Sport model, you even have on the luxury package, you have like a chrome polished look as well. But these are not bad wheels. It still looks pretty nice. From the side view, you have a very clean and long overall design. I do like the chrome here at the bottom, gives a luxurious look, and sort of the elongated window trims that you have as well. I really, really like what they did with the taillight design and how they actually extended the taillights from here in the rear and extends to the side of the vehicle. Very similar in terms of the exhaust housings I have on each side over there. Very similar to the LC and some of the other Lexus models. I'm not sure, you know, there's other models that have, I think, more bold taillight designs, but I think generally it's pretty nice, especially at night. I like how the taillights light up at night with all the L's that basically go on each side. So, but generally speaking, I find that the LS in terms of exterior design is pretty nice. So here, starting off in the interior with the door panel, I honestly adore what Lexus has done. I think it's probably one of the nicest interior designs, similar to what they did with the LC as well. You got some Alcantara over here. In this particular model, we have a mocha interior. I'm not crazy about the, you know, the open pore wood. It gives it sort of a older, more mature type of feel. Of course, you have different options. They have even like a hand cut glass with a folded Alcantara design on some other trims. But nevertheless, being a entry-level LS, this still is very, very nice. As you can see, you have some memory buttons over here, and this is pretty cool. If you press this button, it allows you as a driver to control the passenger side seat as well. So you have some leather over here, leather over there, Alcantara, open pore wood. They took this straight out of the LC, the design of the door handle, really, really nice. And this is sort of like a pretty cool feature. I guess the armrest over here is sort of like a floating armrest, if you can see. Very, very nice. The only downside to this though is that you cannot store things in there because it goes all the way through over here. So the only storage area that you have over here is the bottom portion of the door. Of course, you have your window controls, your mirror controls, and then your window lock and door locks as well. This particular model, they have a trim that has, I believe, 18-way power seats with massage function. But like I said before, this one is the entry-level spec. So you still have 12-way power over here. So you have your lumbar, your seat back, your seat bottom, and then this is your leg extension, which extends this part of the seat as well. What I do like quite a bit also is they actually extended the leather all the way down here. And the seats in general, I've taken this car on a long trip. It's pretty comfortable. The only thing that I would say though is that I found even though there's not heavy bolstering here at the bottom part of the cushion, I found the bottom seat to be a little, I don't know how to say it, but like it dug into the side part of my leg or my butt. I don't know why. I couldn't feel anything hard over here, but maybe the way that the seat was shaped made it feel a little uncomfortable. But generally speaking though, these seats are generally nice and comfortable as well for long trips. So getting into the interior over here, we'll see that you have a full leather wrap steering wheel. I do like the shape of this 3-spoke steering wheel. Definitely love the material of the plastic. Sort of very nice design. Gives it sort of like a brushed aluminum look, even though they're plastic. You do have paddle shifters here in the rear as well. You do have the stalks that came directly from the LC as well. I do like, but I also don't like the gauge cluster. Let me tell you the positive. I do like the positive in that you have a full digital cluster over there, similar to the LC and some of the other models as well. Full sort of tachometer with a speedometer there in the middle. I don't like how they divided up the engine temperature or the oil temp and the fuel gauge over there as well. I don't understand why they actually broke it up into a full digital over there and then they just kept those two little simple things on the side analog. I don't understand why they did that. They should have actually taken advantage of the full real estate that you have over here instead of breaking it up into 3 different compartments. I think they should have done a full digital display with a little bit more adjustability. Nevertheless, it's still pretty nice. You do not get sort of like GPS maps or anything in the digital cluster or gauge cluster here in the middle. You do have, you know, your traction control on, off, and your snow modes, and then you have your different drive modes over there as well. I do like the trim in terms of how they ended up doing the middle part over here. You have these sort of strakes that sort of merge into the, you know, the AC vents, so it kind of makes it all cohesive, similar to the way that they did the infotainment screen. Now the newer models, I believe they changed it in the 2021, so I'll put it up on the screen. What they ended up doing was they changed it into a touch screen, and they brought this screen over here further up, so it kind of looks like a tacked on iPad that went on over here. They did it just to update the vehicle. They had no other choice, just because the way that they designed it over here was integrated into the dash. This particular year model, 2019, only has Apple CarPlay integration, no Android Auto, which sucks for me, for example. But nevertheless, it's Apple CarPlay that is wired. It's not wireless Apple CarPlay. The middle over here is quite simplistic. I like the fact that you do have physical buttons for the HVAC. You have your push start stop over here. You have your handbrake control over there, You have auto brake hold. I don't know why they still have a CD over there. And then the gear lever is so-so. It's okay. I think they could have done a better job with it. It still has some leather wrapping over here and some brushed aluminum, but the functionality of it is very similar to the LC. So reverse, drive, neutral, and then if you're already in drive, you just go down for manual mode, which would allow you to use the paddle shifters over here as well. Once again, you do have the infotainment touchpad before they updated the screen. So once they updated the screen over here on the later models to make it a touchscreen, you have both touchpad and touchscreen capabilities. Over here, like I said before, you do have entry level. You do have a rear sunshade over here, and this basically, if you touch that, it gives you the ability to actually adjust the seats for either driver or passenger as well. You have a middle compartment over here which can open this way or from the other side as well, so that's pretty cool. You get to see that now in a lot more Lexus models, but this is one of the first models that ended up having this type of functionality. You have two cup holders over here with an integrated 12-volt plug over there, and then you have your glove compartment, which is relatively large. And then finally, you can't see it right now. I'll show you guys sort of like a little something, but at night you have a little design in the passenger side dash area that lights up and gives it sort of a more luxurious feel inside as well. All in all, it's pretty nice. I believe that this car in 2019 MSRP was about $75,000 starting. Now you can probably get something like this in the mid 50s, if I'm not wrong. I've looked into the market, and you can probably get something like this in the mid 50s. Also very dependent on the mileage and the condition of the vehicle. But I think for something that you want to have for a long-lasting driving enjoyment, this is a very, very good option, because if you go with the Germans like BMW or Audi, you're gonna have a lot more issues. You do have, your sunroof over here, and then you have a lot of space here in the rear. Being the entry-level spec, you don't have any massage function or anything like that, but you do have, like I said before, a rear sunshade that you can control with a button in the middle. I'm gonna show you guys a little bit of the rear seating area as well, but just to show you guys, this car also does have soft closed doors, so that's pretty cool as well. Of course, a lot of the cars in this particular segment do have soft closed doors. So let's get inside and I'll show you guys the space in the rear. The front seat, or the driver's seat, is at my particular adjustment. I'm 6'1" as always. So if you sit inside, wow, you have a lot of space. You have easily about 4.5 to 5 inches of knee room. It's super, super spacious over here. Being an entry-level spec over here, you do have the vents, but you don't have any controls over here. You do have a 12-volt down there, quite a big hump over here, so it makes it a little bit tougher for 5 passengers in total, or 3 passengers in the rear, but a third person can actually sit here without too much trouble. So you can also put the front, as you can see over here, for the passenger rear side. It goes all the way front to give this passenger over here in the rear as much space as possible. You have the sunshade over there, and then some additional storage space with USB-A plugs over there. Being an entry level, it's not bad at all actually. Feels very luxurious. I love the fact that you still have the Alcantara and the open pore wood over there. You do have some venting on the sides over there, and also right here, as you can see. So that's very, very nice to have. You have both in the middle and on the sides, and then you have some vanity mirrors here as well. So I'm gonna show you guys a bit of the cargo area over here. I'll show you guys what the volume is on the screen right now, and in comparison to some of its competition. I do like the fact that you have a very, very large opening area over here. You do have automatic opening and close as well. Generally speaking, very nice area over here. I do believe that it's not opening for the seats to have a pass-through, but generally speaking, you do have quite a bit of room. It's very, very spacious. Nice convenience that you have over here, and then you can also, like I said before, close it. So the Lexus LS500 contains an engine as of this generation with a twin turbo 3.5 liter V6. It pushes, I believe, 414 horsepower and 441 pounds per foot of torque. But generally speaking, after driving the vehicle, it actually does have quite a bit of push, considering it's a twin turbo V6. Of course, you know, they went from a V8 naturally aspirated to this twin turbo V6 power plant. You can't really see much on this because in natural Lexus fashion, everything is covered. Now, at least on the plus side, I do like the cover that they used on this particular engine. It does have sort of like a carbon fiber look over here, and it does show the fact that it's a twin turbo. And I'll show you guys right now what the fuel efficiency numbers are on the screen as well. Yeah, all in all, it's a very, very good powertrain in my opinion. They of course wanted to downsize for efficiency reasons, but generally speaking, very good engine. And I'll show you guys also the numbers in terms of 0 to 60 numbers, which is pretty strong as well for this kind of car, given the fact that it's so large with a twin turbo V6. So my general driving impressions on this entry-level LS500, I'd have to say that if you get it for its intended use, which is a large vehicle that is in the full-size luxury segment vehicle, you're not gonna buy this for its sporty drive, let's just say. You're gonna buy it for a sort of quiet, comfortable, luxurious drive. And you know, Lexus definitely does a very, very good job in doing this with the LS. Super supple suspension, and it does have quite a bit of power when you do push on the gas pedal, and it does have a bit of lean and a bit of squat when you do actually push it hard. But ultimately it's still pretty comfortable, quiet inside. It's not, you know, of course, levels of Rolls-Royce or Bentley or even new S-Class Mercedes, but at the end of the day, it's still pretty solid. You do have quite numb steering and very, very comfortable and soft suspension at the same time. So all in all, I mean, at the end of the day, if you're looking to buy a solid used full-size luxury segment vehicle, I'd personally go with either something like this, like an LS500, or even a Genesis G90. I haven't driven the G90 yet. I've been in an A8 and a 7 Series. I have not driven them. Despite the fact that maybe the Germans are a little bit more technologically advanced, it also leaves them more room for mistakes or even things to go wrong. And given the fact that they're Germans, you do have more expensive components at the same time. You can never go wrong with the reliability of the Japanese, like Lexus. Lexus is known for that, which is why it also retains its value, I believe, a little bit better. This is a phenomenal vehicle. My dad actually ended up purchasing the first ever LS400 when it first came out in 1989. We bought it in 1990, and we were so happy. We ended up having that vehicle for 15 years with not a single problem. So I would say the same thing about this car, is that if you were looking for something that is solid, comfortable, quiet, you can never go wrong with Lexus. So I hope you guys enjoyed that quick review. What's my ultimate take on it? I think you guys got an idea during my driving impressions. Would you go for this LS500 as a 2019 US vehicle? I personally would, just because of its reliability and its bold design. I really like the design of it. The exterior is very nice, especially the interior. I love the interior. Everybody's different, because when it comes to design and looks, it's very subjective. But ultimately, you cannot deny the fact that Lexus is a very reliable brand. So at the end of the day, would I go for this? If you're asking me, yeah. Put this with a Genesis G90 on top of your list, because if you're looking for something that's long-term and you want to have good comfort, I think both the G90 and the Lexus LS500 are very solid vehicles. You're not going to have many problems with them. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this. Once again, thank you so much for all the all the support. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and make sure to put any of your questions or comments down below, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Take care.